Hey, we are live.
Are we?
Yay!
Hello and welcome. I am Ronnke, your GM, and in the stream today we have Rigel Kent,
Hello.
Geigerman, and FX Engineer. Today we are playing a Traveller campaign set in the Third Imperium era. We are using the very awesome GURPS system by Steve Jackson Games, and our VTT of choice is Fantasy Grounds. You can find this and past sessions on YouTube and as audio-only podcasts. Links are in the video description. If you enjoy our content, please like this video and subscribe to our Twitch and YouTube channels. Do we have any character business before we do character introductions?
Nope.
I think I added Fearsome Stare last time. Because that's just wildly appropriate for someone being ripped off from Captain Flint.
Okay, that should be fine. We still have a 3-session grace period to tweak characters as needed, which means Dean and Flynn, you have 2 more sessions, and James will have 3 sessions still. I should do this in order so that people can put voices to names. So Dean, you had just the, Rigel Kent, you only had the Fearsome Stare for Dean.
For Flynn.
Sorry, Flynn.
Get with it, man.
I told you, it was a late night. Okay. Geigerman, do you have anything for Flynn?
No, because it's not my character.
Damn it. For Dean.
No, I do not.
I just want to reset today.
Oh, and we're in the is that the Tobiah subsector?
Yes.
Or sector. I forget how the words.
Subsector. The sector that you're in is the Trojan Reaches, and the subsector is Tobia.
And then Fist is called what again? The solar system?
Fist is the system, yeah.
All right, got it.
If you look in the locations on the right-hand side there, under World, you will see some description stuff.
Oh, cool. Thank you. Yep, I was really zoomed in, so I didn't see all that.
I mean, this stuff.
Because yeah, I had the one that's called Tla Iowaha was on my screen when I logged in.
Right, but if you have a look in the menu, it's on the right-hand side. You have library, player, campaign, world, character. If you open up world, you should see locations. Yes?
Okay, yeah, got it.
All right, if you open that up, then you'll have some information there.
So I have one for Burrito system, but not for Fist.
Oh.
Fist is on Tobia under sublocations.
Wonder if that needs to be shared separately.
Yeah, that's interesting. They don't actually. Oh, that's why, because they weren't shared. I
Weirdly,
was going to
you
say
can
they don't
still
show
click
up in the
on it.
locations. Yeah, no.
That's weird.
All right, no further questions, Your Honor.
Right. Let
All
us
right.
proceed.
Good game. See you next week. No.
Well, too bad, Mira. Does she go both ways, or is she only,
Who knows? You know that she was pretty cozy with Lena. Maybe there's an opportunity for a rebound, trauma rebound. I don't know if
reminds me
there's
of
I don't know if there's a
Wedding
name for that.
Crashers?
Yeah, I can't quite figure out where to fit her into the crew.
You are permitted to be armed, though you were informed that Jaro is a they're kind of serious people. If you come visit with an arsenal, they're probably going to react poorly. So I think Flynn brought a sidearm. I'm not sure what Dean was going to bring.
I've got a pistol.
And I don't know if James wants to be armed or not.
Well,
Oh,
James has a permit
yeah.
for
Ditto.
based on the nature of his work and whatnot, dealing with money and cargo. He's got a permit for anywhere that accepts, that kind of thing
All right,
in
so
Imperial worlds and whatnot.
you will be armed. What will you be armed with?
I forgot to switch to that gyro thing you guys were talking about, but right now he just has a sidearm.
Gorse
Yeah,
pistols? Are you?
you don't have to go to the Gyrock. It's just maybe you're just like, yeah, I don't want to use that because the drawbacks to it. Like if I use it too close, it does not as much damage.
And they do have a tendency to put holes in ships if you're using particular rounds.
Yeah, he probably wouldn't have that. I'm thinking that might be a little bit overkill for him.
The traveler norm on high-tech worlds is Gorse weapons, so Gorse pistols, Gorse rifles. On lower tech, it's your slug throwers, standard slug throwers. Lasers are very rare, and they come with a backpack power supply. And blasters don't exist at all.
Well,
Either
let me
as ship weapons or personal weapons, I believe. I don't
I'll
think
have to
there's
make a
particle
tweak
weapons.
because I had lowered my strength to make room for some points, but now I see that's affecting my weapon minimum strength of 11. So I'll have to
Yeah.
tweak that up. But he's just got a Magnum pistol. If it's allowed and customary, he'll open carry. Otherwise, he'll conceal it under like a jacket or something like that.
With respect to a Magnum pistol, you probably want to be going the modern Gorse pistol route because they have a divide by 3 armor divisor, whereas your Magnum,
Where is that in Ultra Tech?
yes.
I'll look it up for next time, or maybe while we're playing, if it comes up, check it out real quick.
Is there any particular preparations that you would like to make before heading to the undercity and going to the Black Drift bar?
make sure everybody knows the objective. We've got 20K. We want to spend as little of that as possible. Normal cost is 10K, but it can go up or down. Don't start a fight, but make sure to finish it.
Well, preparations. Do we need any other gear other than ourselves? And then I guess Sully will talk. Will look to Flynn, and what's the plan, man? Like, are we trying to stick to 10? Do we care? It's not our money, like that kind of a thing for negotiations on the bribe.
Yeah, we want to spend as less money as possible. That'll make us look good.
If Sully's the company finance officer on this ship, he's going to want to save as much money as possible for the company. Unless, he doesn't give a shit.
Remember, Code of Honor Pirates. 1, always avenge an insult. 2, your buddy's foe is your own. 3, never attack a fellow crewman or buddy except in a fair open duel. And 4, anything else goes.
I think he will try to, obviously, with the accounting and stuff like that, maybe officers get some kind of a bonus. So that might play into it.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, so I've got my communicator, I've got my personal armor, got the pistol, the Jarok launch pistol. I've got the force sword, which is basically a lightsaber, and then palm top terminal, which is basically an iPad. But other than that, good to go.
What's your armor? Is that something that I can wear, like that concealed, or does it look like armor?
I just got Monochrist body armor, and it's flexible.
It would not be uncommon to just have Monochrist because it looks like clothing. It can be made to look like clothing. And it has DR 24/8 and is flexible.
Tactical lining.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't have all that on my character sheet, but I would have that. Sounds pretty standard.
Well, I don't have that because I'm an honest person.
You don't have the armor?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. I'm going to have to point that out to you afterwards and say, you need to get some armors.
I've got a 15 in Streetwise and a 13 in Urban Survival. He knows when we're going into these kinds of situations.
I imagine that
you want to be prepared.
I imagine Monochrist suits would almost be like steel cap boots in certain environments.
Well, if there's company gear that I can use, but he hasn't purchased any separate armor other than his vac suit.
Fair enough, but you're not going to need armor anyway.
Yes, everything is going to go perfectly. I'm not going to have to stab someone with my force sword.
I guess I could actually afford a jacket.
How much do you have?
960 left.
Oh, okay.
Of course, that's my last 960.
Because my Monochrist body armor, which is basically everything but my face and head, neck, torso, groin, legs, feet, arms, hands, is 4320.
Right. Yeah, Monochrist jacket is just 450.
All right, well, you head through to the undercity, and it is in the shadier, less maintained side or portion of the undercity. where a lot of the working class tend to congregate. And you quickly find your way to the Black Drift Bar.
I like that image. Is that just something you had spin up?
Yep, it's AI'd.
Yeah, that's really nice. That turned out really nice. Clearly, I need to actually consider putting actual money onto my AI generator instead of using the free thing that where everybody always looks exactly the same.
Well, given that this is AI, something is probably horribly wrong.
I will admit to having zoomed in a little bit to start looking at the at the stools to see how many of them are just weird, like this one.
Uh,
Yeah, don't look too hard.
No, I refuse. I must look too hard.
I use Midjourney, and it tends to come up with some really good results.
Yeah,
I don't.
I think they use Midjourney at work. The people that are actually using it.
no, no. Well, talking about for graphics?
I thought so. Was I wrong? Am I wrong?
Well, when we're doing development, they use Copilot.
Does Copilot actually generate
No.
images?
No, that doesn't do images. That does code.
Ish.
But I also use Chat GPT,
That might be what I'm
and
thinking of.
it does images, but its images are not as good as Midjourney, I find. Sometimes it does a good job, sometimes not. But I use that to get it to give me the prompt that I plug into Midjourney. So I tell ChatGPT that I want this. Give me a Midjourney prompt that'll give me that, and that's how I spin up these images.
So you're using an AI to help you use an AI.
Yeah, I'm double defaulting.
I was thinking it was Kim that is using it, but I could be wrong.
Maybe.
At any rate, we're going to the Black Drift Bar. I'm gonna let Sully do the actual schmoozing while I keep an eye out for evil ninjas that are gonna spring out of nowhere, or maybe
Oh,
possibly under that misshapen thing. You could probably fit 2 or 3 ninjas down there.
Well, this place looks nice. Not at all seedy.
it is a small affair. It is your typical small starport sort of bar. You would expect to find spaces in here, and you can see that there's a few already. There is a guy working behind the bar. And since you said you were going to look out, I might as well do this.
Rutro Raggy. Uh-oh. I'm certain it's nothing. It's an interesting decor they have here with these hex grids on the floor.
The guy behind the bar says, "Yeah, it was the place came like that. Previous owners seemed to like that hex pattern, so they had hex tiles."
Is that blood?
Nope,
Stop
nope.
looking.
What's that over there? So you can situate yourselves where you would like to be watching out if that's what you were doing.
Well, obviously, we have to ask for our dude whose name is in my notes, Jero Cass.
You will ask the guy behind the bar. He is cleaning a cup at the time, and he simply sort of points with his head, nodding off in the corner over there. And you can see this guy.
That's an interesting thing they give for the GM.
The what?
A little avatar, I guess. I'm talking about the chat window.
Yeah, that's been there.
Drop him onto the map.
Yeah, now supposedly if you've got images on the NPCs, they're supposed to show up in there if you're actually speaking in their voice.
Cool.
Why does Jero Cass look like Joe Rogan?
I don't know. Maybe the AI likes him. Can you see him there on the map?
Yes, indeed.
Just to establish it for the record, I do have earbuds, and I will be listening in on comms if I can't hear directly.
All right, you will see him over there in the corner. He has a drink and some snacks, and right now he seems to be yelling at one of the screens, saying, "Ah, come on!" You will turn to look, and he's obviously watching pod racing or something like that. As you walk towards him, I will get a body language from those that are sort of in his vicinity. So, not Dean.
Is that in the box?
Yes, in the box, please. Okay, James. You're able to see that his attention goes away from the screens and onto you guys, and there's a look of like suspicion, sort of, who the fuck are these guys, sort of look on his face. I will get you to make a observation or perception roll, please.
That's just him, right? Since he's the one that succeeded.
All right, James, you will see that you'll notice very subtly he has obviously unclipped his holster. and has one hand resting on a sidearm at his side that you can't actually see at the moment, but you see that that's what he's done. He keeps one hand above the table, holding his drink. The other is, under the table, obviously on his sidearm.
Could I tell from the body language and just the reading the situation, his nervousness or suspicion? Is it maybe because of us specifically, or just the whole situation? Can I see if it's like a personal thing, or more just in general the situation?
You wouldn't know if it's, all you see is that he has become acutely aware that you guys are approaching his table.
Do I have a chance to talk to or say anything to Glenn before we get closer, without being too obvious?
Yeah, if you want to tell me to, it's like hold back here, or hold up and stay clear or something like that, then I can do that.
No, I don't want to. What I want to tell you is like, hey, this is obviously this is not the first time we've had to do bribes. It should be a normal thing. So what I just say, hey, something's up. The guy's really nervous. He's got a weapon in his offhand. Like, in as few words as possible, I'll say that. So just, eyes open, ears open. How do you say that?
To be fair, he was probably expecting Varkas.
Could be that, but
Noted.
yep. Stay frosty.
Is there other people in this bar?
There is. So there's like a besides Jaro, there's a few others.
Cool.
If you want, I can drop some tokens down to represent them if you want.
Not necessary. I was just wondering if it was like, actually got to people, or if it was mostly empty.
Are there any other entrances besides where we came in?
Well,
I
as you
see, I see
see,
another door. Yeah, I see the door.
the map is representative of the image of the bar. So you'll see there's a door just off to the side of the bar, and then there's a main door under the screens there. So there's your main entrance.
Yeah, and Dean would have heard what I said through this comms. I would have had my open mic.
Do you have comms?
Yeah.
I do.
Does Dean?
Yeah, he said
Yeah.
he had his mic open.
Righto. So
Well,
you guys stand at his table. He's just looking at you guys, and he says, "You want something?"
well, I'm gonna come in with a little bit of just friendliness and charm and be like, hey, like we're from the Olympus. Lena couldn't make it. Sorry about that, but we're here to get this business going. And mind if we order a drink while we're at it? I'm just trying to be friendly. So if I have to use any skills, it'll be diplomacy or my or like a reaction, the reaction.
Well, you can give me a reaction roll into the box, please. Add whatever bonuses would be appropriate in this situation.
I'm not sure what because I don't really at this point I don't really have like reputations and stuff like that.
You
I have
don't
a
have
13
charisma or
diplomacy.
anything?
No,
No, so you
I
wouldn't get
have
any bonuses.
I have a +2 for concealed activities for my networked, but it's technically supposed to be for buying and selling illegal goods. I don't know if this would maybe fall under that category.
Continue.
Yeah, so
Is
just
it
give me
probably
a
better
straight
for
up.
me to? It's probably better to use my diplomacy, or I guess I can do a reaction roll, and if he doesn't like me, then I switch to diplomacy. See that?
Yep, so roll that into the box, please.
Or does Flynn? Do you have any like social type abilities?
Yeah,
Well,
but
he
I'm letting you
does.
take the lead in this
Okay.
because this is more your speciality.
Okay.
Because
Let
I
me
do
find where
have
my.
charisma 1.
Let me. Where is this again? Traits, abilities. No, main. Reaction. Okay, got it. Well, I have +1 for business acumen with anyone who you do business. Would this be considered that situation?
Well, he doesn't exactly know you yet.
Yeah, it wouldn't come into
But I
effect.
did say we're from the Olympus to do business. But let me just roll. There we go.
So I would guess streetwise would probably be the thing that's appropriate here.
You could use Streetwise to get a good reaction.
Right. I would have rather used the skill instead of reaction roll because I'm trained, but that's just, I guess, the initial reaction of what he thinks. Hopefully, it's not like a 3.
All right, so he says, you're from where? I don't know any Olympus. And I don't know this Lena that you're talking about. If you have detect lies, you're welcome to make a roll in the box.
Yeah, is he lying to
But
me?
the situation at the moment, you kind of feel like Greedo, and this guy is Han Solo.
Yeah. Is he just playing hard to get?
Said, you can make detect lies in the box, or you can make assumptions openly.
All right, so you can see that he's not being truthful in what he's saying.
Okay. Come.
He says,
Hey.
I'm watching a game here. You should be on your way.
Okay.
And then he'll take a drink.
So obviously, my character is going to be more skilled than me in the conversation. So words to the effect like, "Come on, hey Jaro, we're just here to, you know, how to say it? Like, oh, okay, so it sounds like you don't want the 10,000 credits that we have, or maybe I'll say the 8,000 credits. I'd have to pick a number that's not going to offend him. Guess you don't want to do business, something along those lines, but in a like a friendly tone.
All right, so did you want to make a skill roll for a good reaction?
Yeah, I would go with either diplomacy, or if I can use streetwise, due to the
You
nature
could
of the
certainly
situation.
use Streetwise is probably more appropriate here.
So I kind of really just want to put the carrot out there and like, hey, we're here to do this. Like, there's no need to play games. We're professionals. Let's get this done.
Wow.
Also, your bar is on fire.
He will sort of kick out the chair next to him. He'll say,
"Oh, you're from that Olympus."
He says, "You're talking my language. The moment you mention credits, I'm all ears. Take a seat." And he says, "What do you drink?"
I don't know if I
What's
know
your
anything
poison?
about this place, but I'll pick like if I can figure it out, a local drink like a high and dry or something like that, or a high port fantasy, or
So
And now it's official.
I know that was
What's
painful.
official? What's official?
There's a drink called Highport Fantasy.
he will press a button or like a touch panel in the table. A holographic display will sort of flash up in front of him. He will scroll through the list and select, say, Highport Fantasy, and he clicks buy two, then clicks send. The holo display will disappear, and in short order, your drinks will be delivered by the guy that was behind the bar. So he says, your new faces. Where's Lena?"
Now I have to look to see if I have. Nope, I don't have like aggressively blunt. So I'll
Thought you
let
did.
Sully. No, that's not this one. Lorian in Trek has aggressively blunt.
That's what it was.
Who's carrying the case of monies? Or case of valuables?
If Sully wanted to take it, I had no problems letting him do so.
Um, we literally have the valuable, like you said, the gold in a suitcase.
Well,
Looks
yeah, it's going to be like some sort of cool looking case.
Sci-fi, like mini Pelican case sort of thing.
Yeah, how heavy is 10,000 credits worth of gold?
It ain't going to be
It's
gold.
probably,
It's exactly that much.
I was gonna say, like, if it's any, gold is pretty valuable weight per weight, so maybe it won't be that much, but I guess it'd still be heavy. Oh, okay, so I'll slide in, like we ordered the drinks, pull out my cigar. I will offer first Jarrow, and I don't know, I'll offer one to Flynn as well. I got some really nice,
No
expensive
thanks.
cigars. And as I do that, I will be like, I'll just casually say to Jarrow, so hey Jarrow, like mind laying the finger off the, mind holstering that thing? And I kind of glance at his offhand under the table. Kind of puts a chilling effect on negotiations,
He says, "Oh, sure. Sorry about that. It has a mind of its own. Think nothing of it." And you'll see he'll clip up his holster again. And this time both hands are on the table. His attention seems to be diverted between you and the screen. At which point he lets out a moan and he goes, "God damn it." And he'll say, "Ari, turn that shit off. It's just depressing me." And the guy behind the bar just sort of shrugs, but the screen stays on. He then turns his attention to you guys and he says, I hope you're going to make this bad day better.
Well, it's been a shitty day for us too, so ditto on making it better.
Oh, did you mention where's Lena?
James Sully did not answer. He kind of glanced over at Flynn, like this is outside of my pay grade. Like I don't know if I should mention anything with that look.
Yeah, I don't see why we would want to reveal that. So Flynn is probably just going to give a discreet shake of his head.
He will
Well,
just sort of slow nod, going, okay. Kind of used to dealing with Lena. She's a pretty sort too, if I do say so.
Regrettably,
Yeah.
she's unavailable.
Yeah, she couldn't make it that time of month, you know.
Right. So I guess you know the deal.
I know the deal, and I mean, all I know is the 10 out of character. I know the 10,000. Otherwise, I do know generally how these deals are done from other deals, but not from this one specifically.
He will lean forward. He'll steeple his hands, and he'll say, "Well, 25K is the usual going rate. That's the arrangement I had with Lena."
Oh, Jaro. Sully like touches his heart, like, oh, you pain me, like you stabbing me right through the heart. We both know it's
Probably want to
8,000.
go. Yeah.
He will sort of recoil a little bit, and he says, things are tough out there in the black. We wouldn't want your pretty little ship there to run into any unnecessary problems, right? 8,000? You got to be kidding me. You need to come up with a far fairer offer than that. Willing to go to, since you're new around here, willing to go for like, say 22. It's a nice round number.
I'm
don't think
totally
we're gonna-
thinking it's a way too high number, but I'm not going to say nothing.
He says, I should remind you that without our support, it is a very dangerous place out there. My associates have a lot of contacts, and we have an established network that can ensure that you make this run as successfully as you have previously.
And just out of character, we know for like 10,000 has been usual, right? Or has it been higher or less? That's in historically.
10,000 is the usual going rate. but often it's higher, never lower, but 10,000 is the usual go. Well, that's what you've been told by the XO. Now, the XO might just be saying that to put you guys in a difficult situation. It wouldn't be beyond him, considering that Flynn's doing it.
But it'd be really stupid of him, considering it would screw over the ship and him.
Yes,
Well-
it's certainly not in his best interests, and his interests have always been for the ship and crew. So
Sully's been in the business for 4 to 8 years at least, and he's got actual points in Streetwise. He probably knows what's a good amount.
Yeah, he would know that. And I was just asking specifically for this deal because it helps me, like, if I have to bluff, not bluff. Like, I need to know. I don't want to just make up something without really knowing.
well, at this point, actually, you got a margin critical on your Streetwise.
Oh, wow. Good job.
A margin critical failure.
No, margin critical success.
Also, the GM has a terrible poker face.
So he will say, "Well, how much did you bring in that little there case of yours?"
Well, in this case, we've got 10,000.
He will sort of cock his head and give you the side eye. And he says, "I don't know." Sorry, excuse me. He says, "I don't know. I'm not carrying that case, but it seems a little heavy for 10K.
It might be a tad bit heavy, and I give him a wink. I'll tell you what. What's your favorite? Or you were looking at the screen, so obviously you like to gamble. Do you play poker or whatever the gambling game of choice?
There's a computer game back in the 80s/90s. Speedball. I don't know if you're familiar with that old game, Speedball.
No, not ringing a bell.
It's basically kind of like soccer, but you throw the ball instead of kick it. So you throw it to people, and it's full contact.
So like an actual physical sports, not that we play in or that we bet on.
Well,
you said computer game.
No, this on the screens, because Flynn said he's pretending to watch the sports ball.
Yeah, but I'm not really paying attention to it. I'm just pretending.
But that's
I'm
what's
like you.
That's what's showing. Speedball.
Well, if someone asks me later what the game was like, I'm not going to have any freaking idea what I actually was watching.
Well, here's the proposal that I'm gonna make to Jaro. I'm like, let's play this game, whatever this game is, or let's bet on something. If I win, you'll take the 10,000. If you win, we'll give you 20.
Do you have fast talk?
I do.
Give me fast talk.
In the box?
No, you can roll it open.
Oh, that was pretty bad.
That was bad. What's up with that, dude?
Oh.
He will say, look, you're obviously new to this. Here's what we'll do. 15k is my offer. You can either take it and risk the run, or take it and have a safe run, or leave it and risk it. At this point, if you want to negotiate, you can roll merchant. You will be at a -1 for every, I think it's 5% or 10% you want from that fair price, or that fair price that's given to you.
Is there a negative consequence to failing?
No.
All right, so James is like, he puts his hands up like, like shakes his head. You got me. You're a tough bargainer there. What's his name?
You're not gonna
Jaro?
make him. You're not gonna make a merchant test.
I am, but
Ah,
I'm just trying to do a little bit of role play.
Gotcha.
I'm like,
Gotcha.
he's like, yeah, you're like a tough bargainer. Like, how about we do this? And he's gonna try to do that 10%. No, he'll do it 5%. Just a little bit. He won't push it.
So -1 off your roll.
He'll be like, how about we do this? And you got yourself a deal. And then so let's roll. Is that in the box?
No,
I
you
guess
can make it in the
I
open.
guess it don't matter.
Oh, actually, you're not seeing
Oh,
my.
come on. Oh.
Awesome.
You're not seeing my rolls, are you?
No, but man,
No, you're not.
I'm rolling Mel's rolls here.
Well, she's not here, so somebody has to have them.
Show GM roll. What?
I tried.
Why are you not seeing my rolls? Show GM rolls is on.
So now he's
That's
probably going to
weird.
charge us 5%. Usually merchants contested roll though.
Yeah, it is. Did you see that roll?
I see it too.
Maybe when I'm rolling off the NPC. Maybe that's what's causing it to be hidden.
Then how else would you roll it?
I mean, the NPC could be hidden in the tracker or something.
Wait, why would he be in the tracker?
In case we have to protect him. Yeah, that's the ticket.
Okay, let me roll this now.
You need to roll an 18.
That's better.
That appears to have been it.
Whoa!
So, you will talk him down from 15. So you talk him down 5%. So that is, I don't know, what's 5% of 15? So 750.
So 14,250. Which is still a bit more than we would like to pay, but
Yeah, crappy rolls, man. Sorry.
And you're supposed to be the talker.
I think the GM set us up on that one.
what, he set us up that you were going to roll like crap?
No, he immediately went to 25 from a normal 10. So that's more than half of more than a 50% discount that we would have needed.
Hey guys, why are there bad dudes over here?
Uh-oh. Maybe that dude is we're gonna have to protect him after all. He's gray, he's not red.
As you're doing this negotiation, a group of dudes walk in through the main entrance. They look around. They sort of glance at Dean momentarily. They look to the bar guy behind the bar, and also look around the room at the other patrons. The dude that is closest to Dean, give me a reaction roll, just a straight up reaction roll. If you've got any visual modifiers, like you're ugly or whatever, include those. Otherwise, it's just straight up roll.
Are you ugly?
No. I'm a likable guy.
So you looked at him and said, "Hi, how are you?"
Hi, how are you?
That guy's gonna take the seat next to you and start
just
telling you
drinking a
how he
beer.
is.
So your facing is the facing that you're currently at, correct?
Yeah, he's kind of got the arm up on the bar and telling the bartender a joke. Yeah, so she said, "Come around back with me." I said, "I don't know you that well, lady."
So this guy will sort of give you a glance and then sort of turn away. The guy behind the bar, you will see that he will casually sort of reach under the bar and grab something, though you can't see what it is that he grabs. But he's keeping an eye on these guys. He doesn't seem to be all that interested in the story that you're telling right this minute.
Well, that's good because Dean kind of lost track of it when the guys came in. So
Well,
Flynn is
Dean will
probably just gonna ask Jarrow, is like friends of yours?
Well,
Dean
since
is gonna nod at the bartender like he knows what's going on there.
since Flynn, you are sort of they're in a side hex to you. Can I get you to make a perception roll? Sullivan, you do not see them enter.
Success by 1.
All right, so you
Well,
will.
Sully might see Jarrow noticing.
Unless they're with him.
No, because his current facing still has Flynn in a side hex.
No, I mean he might see Jarrow noticing the bad guys coming in.
Right. Okay.
Well, he might notice that something's going on, and possibly Dean would have said something maybe through our comms.
Oh yeah, he's gonna mumble something. 6.
Wow, good job, Jarrow.
Can I get a perception or observation roll from Sullivan, please? All right. So Flynn, you will see the guys in your periphery walk in as a group. This instantly sort of gets your attention. James, you will see Jaro look past you, and he will then, his arm or his hand goes back beneath the table, and you can see that he has once again unclipped his holster, but this time he has pulled out his sidearm still underneath the table, and he will say to you, Sullivan, he will say, "Deal's not done yet."
Is that in a threatening way?
Not in a threatening way. He says, "Deal's not done yet. I ain't taken ownership of that payment yet."
I think out of character, I know what I have an idea of what's going on.
Basically, in the event that you're robbed, you still owe him 15k. But he will say, "Heads up," and he'll sort of nod in the direction of the main doors. Let's see if I can do a group select.
Which reminds me, we need a code word.
Donkey balls.
So again, out of character. Looks like they didn't even notice Dean or didn't give him a second glance.
He blends.
He could probably take 3 of them out before they even notice.
So they will get to about there when you guys have a chance to sort of do stuff. At
Hey,
which
you
point,
can't use that token. That's hurt.
I have a question for Flynn out of character. We would have established SOP. Are we trying to fight our way out or talk our way out, or do we just give in?
No, we're not giving the money to these guys.
I don't think you've established an SOP, but
no, it's just going to be like, find out what the hell they want. When they say we want your money, then we're going to draw firearms
no.
and shoot them in the face.
so at this point, Jaro.
I think Flynn's going to stand and we'd be like, "Can I help you, gentlemen?"
Jaro has stood up by now. He has his pistol unholstered in hand, but not sort of aimed, threatening, or anything like that. This guy here, he will speak up and he'll say, "Oh, Jaro, there's no need for that. We're all friendly here. We've just come to collect." At which point, Jaro will sort of say under his breath, only so you guys can hear, he's going to say, "This is going to get messy." make sure I come out of this alive, and I'll give you that 10 grand. We'll settle on that 10 grand.
And before Sullivan can even say anything, I think Flynn's going to say, deal.
I was gonna try to talk him down again.
Well, while they're talking, Dean is going to slide his pistol quietly out of the holster, and he will be looking through the gun cam.
Right.
So Jara will say, we ain't got nothing to negotiate. How about you just take your boys, turn on around, and head out of here? And the guy says, that's not going to happen, Jara. Seems like there's some negotiations going on here. I think we're going to take whatever's in that pretty little case there.
That triggers it. I'm absolutely going to fast draw and shoot this guy. Clearly, I failed my impulsive 15 or less.
I love it.
All right, so...
Oh, actually, I'm not. I don't have fast draw firearm. So I am drawing the gyrock.
Well, like I said, they moved like 5 hexes, but they did that at a walk, so you've had time to stand up. If you wanted to draw a weapon, you could.
Okay. Noted. So the gyrock will be in right hand, and do I have the other one? No, I'm not going to have the other one out yet. So I'm going to take aim at the speaker. Who is that? The gray guy?
Yes. He's the one that's titled Just Bad Dude.
He's the one who's stealing Hertz token.
Is everyone's facings the way you want them to be, and your positions the way you want them to be?
What do you mean in terms? Can we move, or before combat?
Let me just close some windows here.
Depending on how much time. I mean, I'm definitely going to turn around and draw my weapon.
Well, you can have a weapon out, and you can be situated as however you want to be situated at the start of when the shoosting happens, since Flynn's the one that's doing the shoosting.
Well, he's going to take aim because range and all that. No, I don't think we are going to give you the money. Or give you the case.
I think at this point, Dean is actually going to get up somewhat quietly. So just move. Sort of a change posture from sitting.
Luckily, we're all at that range where nearly everybody is going to have to take aim.
All right, so since you are taking aim, that will trigger these guys to start drawing their weapons, and that is what they will do.
Whoa, you got to me really fast. Okay.
Yeah, they were all just drawing their weapons.
Well,
Did it actually go to Dean? I didn't see it. I was admittedly, I was zoomed out.
Yeah.
Yes, it did.
Cool. Carry on. My bad.
Yeah, he's going for a cover. Would it be?
The only cover that you really have is the chairs. The tables
And
are
they're not really
bolted.
covered.
The tables are bolted to the floors, so they don't move.
Okay, so from a, would it be if I just hide behind the chair that I'm sitting on, would that be pretty much effectively the same as running to one of the chairs closer to them and hiding behind that?
Sure.
I mean, there's no benefit because if that's the case, then what I'll do is I'll do an aim maneuver, but I'll take like one step behind the chair. You know, if that works.
Yeah, but the chairs are not going to provide any
No cover.
real. They'll provide cover, but if someone shot you through the chair, it's going to be
Like a DR1, maybe.
yeah.
Yeah, but at least it'll make it harder for them to hit me. So that's what I'll do.
All right, so take your step in wherever direction you want to step.
I'm just behind a chair.
Yep. Okay.
And then I'm done. I'm trying to figure out. Do you like me to put the effects on there?
That's entirely up to you if you want to do that. I'm quite happy committing that to my brain. I know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. So, seeing that Flynn has taken aim, Jaro will also take aim. He's no slouch. All right, this guy is actually going to fast draw. So the first to react was Flynn. So Flynn is the one that's going to basically trigger this action. So Flynn, you're the target. He will take a step and shoot. Oh, that's another thing. The next release, I should be able to get automatic range modifiers applied to range attacks. Which could be useful.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow.
Exactly what I wanted.
Okay, so I need to re-roll that to see if it's a malfunction. In this case, it's not a malfunction. And he gets 2 ammos back. All right, so he will shoot, and these bullets, or these cracks of a gorse needle will zip past you ineffectively.
Interesting. I was expecting it to not do anything at all. All right, so I'm gonna fire.
They are supersonic, or they are hypersonic needles.
No, but I was expecting it was, since it was a crit fail, I was expecting it to not fire at all.
No, that's why you have to do a second malfunction roll to see if it actually malfunctions. Because it's a high-tech weapon?
So mine is a bit quieter. It's very, very quiet when it fires. It's like a hissing sound.
What's its half D?
I am in range to actually do full damage. That is wow. I forgot that should have been only one. Because I was only planning on firing once. But oh well. I fired apparently 3 times. This is gonna really suck if those hit him.
I will let you retcon that to 1 if you wish, and then recover your ammos.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
I think so.
Happy to go
No,
with the 3 hits
I
as well.
screwed it up. I screwed it up. That was my fault. So, whoops! I forgot to take it off of burst fire. Clearly, the last time I fired it, it was in burst fire. So, 3 max hits. He should probably try to dodge those. I hope he fails. Oh,
He indeed does fail.
this is gonna really suck. That's 17, 24, and 16 PI plus.
No armor devices?
Nope. That's the problem with the core things.
Okay.
If it doesn't penetrate, every 10 points of damage is blunt trauma for
I
flexible
should
armor.
have done random hit locations because I was like, oh, wow. Okay, so thighs and hand and shins. Wow, that was all over the place.
Well, that's good for you because they do have monocris on the monocris jackets.
Wow, so I hit him all over the places where he doesn't have the armor.
This is correct.
Oof.
So no extra effects.
Oh, yeah. Extra damage for the first one. A cutting, impaling, piercing, or tight beam burning hits a vein or artery, and that is PI plus plus. So allows crippling, blah, blah, blah.
So the first one was in the leg.
17 points, and it cripples at hit points over are divided by 3, but if it is twice that or twice the stuff, it will be taking that thing off.
All right, so in this case,
And then it was 24 to the hand. Doesn't tell me which hand. Huh, interesting. Right hand.
hang a bit. Why is bad dude not in the tracker?
He is. He's number 5. Well, yeah, he's number 5.
Oh, so he is.
Should just edit it to get rid of 5.
So crippled. So his leg is going to be gone. So he takes health divided by
Right leg.
3.
Yeah, that's the right leg, and then I hit him on the left leg with the other 16 points. And then probably blew his hand off with the 24 points.
So that'll be 5, 5, and in the shin. Does it say which shin, left or right?
The second one is left leg. Yeah, if you look above that, above shins, it's hit location, left leg.
Right, so wow.
May have just taken both of his legs out.
Yeah, you do. So you take one leg off at the thigh, you remove his hand, and take his other leg at the shin. Wow.
Who was that?
The big bad dude 5, who may just now
Gotcha.
be flat on the face. I'm sorry, I should have said hurt. I just made hurt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he didn't appreciate that, I'm sure. Okay. Dean has a slight problem with his backstop over here.
Surprisingly, he's not stunned.
Okay, so you were shooting that way, and he's probably shooting that way, which isn't ideal. I don't love this. But I don't want to put the friendlies in danger over here. So all out 3 shots because I'm kind of expecting these guys to be armored. And
Go
he's
for their
going
legs.
to step
Shoot him in the butt.
effectively, even though it's all out. So that is still technically a forward hex. And
Shoot him in the butt.
yeah, I think that's it. So there's the thing. And 3 coming. 3 hits.
Well, it's from behind, so
Yep. So here we go. That might hurt.
alright, so divide by 5. How do you get a by 5 armor divisor?
APHC? HD? Whatever.
Okay, so
I suppose I should do that thing. No, not you. Tables. All the chest. Sad.
death roll. He does not die.
You are not dead.
But he is stunned.
Good start, at least.
Alright, health roll for this guy. So that's a succeed by 0 since he's
Are
at
you trying to
-1
shoot
health.
me?
Yeah, I really don't like that angle.
Did all your yeah, oh, they all hit.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to roll to come out of stun.
I'm kind of hoping for a
Which he'll
morale
fail.
check here, as they like see their boss get blown apart and one of their buddies get shot up from behind.
Yeah, Dean's using ETC slug thrower, so they will have heard that a lot.
This guy is going to spin
Turn and
around
shoot
going,
his buddy.
what the shit was that? And he's just going to wildly shoot 3 shots. -1.
Would he not have the possibly -2 for the consider for like a pop up since he's just wheeling around and
Yeah,
shooting?
at the very
Yes.
least.
Just throwing it out there to see if I can keep Dean from getting shot when I'm about to get shot. Damn, dude, we love your rolls tonight. You're rolling like I roll when I run Warhammer Fantasy on face to face.
Yeah, just stick with that.
The coffee machine in the back explodes.
Oh no, that is really gonna piss off the bartender. He's gonna come over there with a spork.
I'm gonna do a will roll for this dude. In the event that he fails his will, he's gonna spin around.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. He's going to pick a target. Did I do a table for you guys? No, I didn't. Let's
You should
quickly
totally have one of those.
Well, normally I get you guys to roll a dice.
That'd be an interesting addition to the party sheet, is a random roller for anyone on the party sheet.
That's actually not a terrible idea.
How do I add a column? There we go. Being not, oh, sorry. Dean in this case will be Jaro.
He's your soul brother.
I guess so.
That's a pretty long shot, though.
Not happening. This guy will kind of see his boss in the periphery get wasted.
Smack his face into the floor.
He could potentially go for anyone. So
Or go for that door.
I didn't mean to do that.
Damn, it does not like you, Dean.
Wait a sec. Wait a
Who
sec.
gets killed?
It's not actually rolling, is it?
Did you not put the actual dice
Roll it
in
again.
there?
See what happens.
Or did you actually put the numbers?
I just put the fields.
Yeah, you have to actually put numbers in there.
I'm totally cool
Awesome.
with Dean being.
I'm cool with this table too. Dana's like, I'm not.
I am not. I don't like this.
James.
This guy does not like your cigars. He hates your cigars.
The fact that you're aiming at him is probably reason for him to shoot back.
Seems reasonable.
I don't know. I think that's pretty unreasonable.
I'll distract them while Dean like blows his brains out from behind.
You're
Uh-oh.
potentially going to get hit.
Yeah, so he's gonna dive, dodge, and drop.
Sadly lose that aim.
It's better than losing my head, I suppose.
It would seem so.
That is a valid point, yes.
Keep in mind you have options of extra effort as well.
So it's a +3 for a dodge, right? I don't have to drop to the ground, but let's say
You do.
dodge is
Feverish
If you-
defense is +3, yeah.
for range that has to drop.
If you're for range, you're doing a drop and dodge or whatever it is, dodge and drop. So you will be prone at the end of it.
Well, I don't want to drop. I take it back. I just want to
So-
dodge.
Then you can spend some fatigue to get a. Is it +3 or is it +2? For extra effort. Can't believe I
Well,
had to actually
fair
think
point.
about that.
If you do drop, these are tables and chairs. You can see under them.
Wait, so just so I understand, I don't have to actually drop for a firearm attack, right?
No,
That's
you can
not what
do
you're
a
saying.
you can do a normal dodge, but if you take the drop and dodge maneuver to get that +3 bonus, then you will end up prone. But you could just do a feverish defense, spend a fatigue for the extra effort, and get a +2 on your regular dodge. Or you could just do a regular dodge.
Right, it's +2, not +3. I always want to say it's +3.
Yeah, let's do the dodge and drop. So that's a +3. I'll end up prone, and I'll.
You
You
could
can also
also
add feverish on top of that.
yeah. So you'd be +5.
And then so I use up 1 fatigue.
Correct.
Let's do that. So +5.
And there you're going to roll a critical fail.
Or a critical success, in which case it's, you were right. Good call. Damn.
Oh man,
Mhm.
I have another. My next
Do you have
character,
luck?
I've already got him ready to go.
None of us are going to have luck. We're only like 150 points, dude.
So
Some
no
things
luck.
you got to ditch.
All right, so I got hit.
This was not an aimed shot. Where's all my tables?
I've had some really crappy rolls. My last
You
two rolls were
have.
like a 16, a 16, and a 17.
You should stop that. No, wait. You should keep doing that so it doesn't spread to me.
I think I need to switch my dice.
Change the dice color. Oh, damn. Well, boots. So if he's just wearing the same armor than I am, that is 24/8. That is... The 8 is impaling, is that correct? No, it's crushing. So, PI minus?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so whatever
So
gets
it's
through his
going to
heart.
be... Hold on. It's going to be
So,
24...
Divided by 3.
24 divided by 3 is 8. Divided by 2 is 4. So only 4 points are going to... Yep.
So, how much damage was it? 15?
15 total, but you
15
have armor
minus
device.
8.
You have DR of 24. You're wearing the same armor I am, right?
So 15 minus 8 is 7. And then divided by 2 is 3.5. I don't know if that rounds up or down.
Wait. Why are you? What? Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I have
so it'd be
DR
4.
24 divided by 3 is 8.
I think it
And he hit
rounds
me for
down.
15.
I
So
want to say it
7
rounds
points
down.
energy.
Yes.
Oh,
I
right.
think
I think
that's
it
the
rounds
So
in
case.
it's gonna
favor
be
of-
it's gonna be a 3 or 4.
I can't
So
believe
it's
I've been playing this game for
UBI.
like. I
it
worked
usually
it out.
rounds in favor of the player.
Yeah, I've been playing this game for like 38 years, and I still can't remember which way
Yeah.
stuff rounds. That's really sad.
Can we make a note about that?
All right, so it'll be 3 points.
And that was to what part? Leg?
Foot.
Foot.
He
So
may
it's
have blown
crippled.
off a toe.
What are your hit points? Yeah.
10.
It has to be
Or
more than
11.
a third.
11.
So a third would be 3. So
So it has to
4.
be 4. So it's not crippled. Oh. Yeah, so
Nearly,
Yeah, it's short
nearly
of
crippled.
crippling.
I'm screaming like a bitch.
He's not happy.
Motherfucker.
Well,
If
So
you
now
your
I am
turn,
prone.
but you no longer have the aim.
and if you don't have high pain threshold, you will be
I
at a
have minus 3 shock.
3 shock.
And let's see. Well, he's prone and he's just shooting.
We
At
demand
this
you to
point,
roll a 3.
he's just going to do all out attack.
And at this point, the guy behind the bar, since it is apparent that this is an altercation between you guys and them, the barkeep will drop behind the bar.
Yeah, but they shot up his coffee maker.
Yeah, he'll be pissed afterwards. But right now, he'd rather be alive to be pissed afterwards. The other people in this place will sort of drop to the ground. So, James, what are you doing?
Okay, yeah, so sorry. I'm doing a all out attack. Just all out attack basically. Just just shooting. Minus 3 for shock, minus 4 for range. I didn't have all these modifiers in there, but
You can just put a single modifier, add it up in your head and put a single modifier if you want.
Giger's
No, I
like,
made a thing for that.
you did.
Holy
I
crap!
don't know if I did it. I don't know if I did this right because I was clicking on stuff and I might have clicked twice.
1, 2.
You wouldn't have been
That
braced.
looks right.
holding a
So it's by
two-handed weapon.
0, maximum 1 hit.
You can't get braced.
But I think he
You
did
got-
hit.
Laser sight.
Yep. Yeah, it's just by 0, not by 1. So that does look like a successful hit to me.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's fine.
Not braced because I didn't aim. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay,
All
so
right, so
one
he's gonna have to
hit
dodge.
potential. He probably doesn't even know he's being shot at.
I'm going to roll
'Cause he-
perception just for that reason.
Yeah, if he's prone, he's going to be covered by the tables.
In which case, you're definitely shooting low and hitting him in the leg or the foot or the groin.
So he's not going to know that's coming.
Shoot him in the groin.
The tables and stuff are in the way. Give me a damage roll.
Oh, that sucks.
And a hit location. Let me just have a look at the table.
Wait, you just rolled an attack roll again, not a damage roll.
Did I?
No, that was
Oh.
damage. Oh, that was? Yeah.
That is an attack roll, yeah. Well, that's a little
That's
better.
All right. Give me a random hit.
Yeah, I was just looking at the table and realizing there's really no way to go, yeah, I want to, just, it needs to be low because you can still hit somebody in the hand if it's low.
All right, so chest, I'm going to move that to the most likely next thing would be the groin.
Oh, you shot him in the daddy
Abdomen.
bags. Shut up, you.
I didn't have it on there, but that's a divisor of 2. If it matters.
Divisor. No, because their jackets don't cover their groin. They probably wish it did. Well, this guy probably wished it did. So PI plus, that goes up to 1.5.
That could hurt a little bit.
Need to put some calculators in so you can just click on the dice value and get it to multiply.
I thought we had that.
You have. If you right click on it, you've got an option to halve, double, but it'd be good if there was a 1.5.
Oh, yeah, that would make sense. Well, yeah, actually, you're going to have to do that if you start doing injury mods.
Death roll.
Dope.
He's going to straight up die. You hit something important.
You heard a girlish scream as he died.
He will be remembered as Loretta.
That shouldn't have made me laugh as much as it did. Well, GM, you need to remove Loretta or replace Loretta with the dead corpse thing.
Let me
corpse.
see if I have that dead corpse token.
Good shot, Sully.
Take that,
What?
motherfucker.
Lucky shot, Sully.
You can probably deselect bad dude number 4 too. Yeah, and I'm totally noticing. I do not like being directly across there between me and Dean.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. I'm going to run over there to a different location.
Yeah, well, so am I.
You going to go join the bartender behind the bar?
I absolutely am.
That's funny. I hate that I know how you think.
Meanwhile, I'm bleeding out.
No, you're not. You got
Yeah, you'll
clipped
be
on the foot. Rub some dirt in it and you can walk it off.
This is Ultra Tech. If you don't die immediately from it, you're probably going to make it.
Also, you should advance the tracker.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, that didn't work.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I need to grab a drink, so can you guys take at least 3 minutes before my turn?
Oh,
Be right back.
that's likely.
Not us, no. Because it's like, I know what I'm going to do, and Dean has a pretty good idea what he's going to do, so it's going to be on the GM.
There we go.
All right, Jarrow. Need to get him to get into the fight. Oh, he's going to take a shot at a guy, and it's going to miss, and it's going to... Oh, never mind.
He's going to take aim at the guy that was aiming at him or shooting at him, number 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it used to be the case, but at least now, when you do the arrows and you've got snap to grid on, you can actually do the control move, and it will move it, do fine movements.
Cool. I did not think that was a thing.
I am actually moving this round. I am basically getting over there for some sort of cover-ish, but I am not shooting because everybody's at that range now where the weapon is suddenly less effective than you would think. It's one of those where it's like, this is a useless weapon up close. Come on, Drenaxian Starguard, what are you guys thinking?
Well, Dean is realizing that he's made a horrible mistake and is going to relocate immediately somewhere relatively safe. He is going to do a all-out
over the bar.
All-out defense, extra dodge and dive and drop over the bar.
Yeah, dex or jumping roll. I guess you could acrobatics as well.
Yeah, I've got astrobatics, but not acrobatics. And
I want to see you trip.
Yeah, I didn't have jumping.
Trip and go straight into the bar.
Smack his head squarely into the bar.
I saw the 6 and 5, and I thought I nearly got lucky.
Yeah, so he looked horrible going over there. You made a big old mess. There may have been a scream or a shout as you land on the bartender.
Mm-hmm. Sorry.
He's going to roll to command a stun. And he will. This guy will realize that he can't shoot you.
Sure he can. He can just open up on that bar.
He's a thug.
That's what mooks do, isn't it? He needs to hit one of them so some beer comes down so Dean can lean over and drink from the fountain of beer.
I don't know if he's that stereotypical.
So you will see the bartender behind the bar. He has a shotgun in hand. He will see you come over the bar and will just sort of give you a guy nod.
Mm-hmm. Sorry. I'm new to this kind of thing.
As you can smell the coffee dripping all over the bar. So this guy will just shoot up and bottles begin to break on the shelf behind. and alcohol goes splattering everywhere.
Oh man, that's not cool.
It is a pretty hectic situation. These guys do not want to take time to aim, so he's even going to all-out attack. He will fire 3 shots. Not happening. Now we have to wait for James.
I'm back.
Woo, we just took long enough.
Oh, Well, do I have a clear shot on Thug 3 or 1 from underneath the tables?
You have a...
Go for 1.
Or,
for
or
2.
2, or any of them, yeah.
Yeah, if 2's got his back to you.
I would say that you have a full shot on 3, so you can shoot 3 anywhere, and the other 2 will be sort of waist down.
Damn it, he's going to take 3 just as I'm about to charge over and get him.
No, can I take like a 1 hex move prone and still shoot without it being a move and attack?
Yes, you can.
Because that'll put me at 10 yards, I think, -4 instead of -5. There you
Bit metagamey, but sure.
go. You're right. I'm sorry. No, but it makes sense.
Of course.
So yeah. So he'll do an all-out attack. Ah, I can't brace, huh?
No, you can
Yeah,
only
so
brace if you aim.
he will do an all-out attack. Thug number 2. Yeah, that's it. 3 shots. Oh, and by the way, when I fired, it was like boom, boom, boom. It was like, like a 357 Magnum going off.
That whole thing is a compensator.
Yes.
Do your thing.
So I did the range and the
So-
all-out attack.
It's going
And-
to... no, you don't get your braced.
Did I put braced again?
Yes, you did.
My bad. I didn't mean to put that one.
So, what's your recoil?
2, 4.
I was
Okay.
going to say, that thing doesn't have 2.
Yeah,
All right,
sorry.
so that's only going to be... No, it's going to be 2 hits. No, sorry, 1 hit, because you don't get braced.
Damn it.
But he
right,
has
so
his
1
back
hit.
turn, so roll damage and roll a random hit.
Random hit location to a thigh. Left,
Oof.
right leg. Right leg.
That's about right.
No armor.
Any injury over half blows it off. No, not really. Twice the injury will blow it off.
Yeah, I think I did that to the guy I shot in the hand. Because it was like 24 points of damage. PI plus.
That will be 21. So that is going to be sufficient to blow it off.
Ah! Oh, that's a
Take
leg.
that,
Damn.
motherfucker. Like,
That's a thigh, too. So
yeah.
that's high up.
Sully's like super educated, but he's like a very layman. He speaks like gutter. He could speak professionally when he needs to. but very uncouth. All right.
Okay, so this guy will need to make a health roll for knockdown. So he's not stunned, but he will be prone.
And there's a big old geyser of blood coming out of his leg.
Well, number 3 hasn't been touched, apparently.
Yet,
Are you going to touch him?
I very may be about to touch him inappropriately if Jarrow doesn't shoot him first.
All right, so Jarrow has aim. Let's do 3 shots.
Well, that's sad.
It is really sad.
Who was he shooting at? Number 3. Okay, good.
Yep.
So Flynn is going to, free action, drop the Gyrock pistol. He is not worried about someone picking it up because I paid the extra to have the smart grip. Then he's going to do a heroic charge to get. Oh, wait! Before he does the heroic charge, he is going to attempt to fast draw unsuccessfully. That's all he's doing this round. Then is drawing his force weapon. That is really sad.
And it's not a lightsaber. It's a...
No, it's a force sword. It's absolutely not going to make a snap hiss noise
it's called
as it ignites.
It's called an arc something.
Yeah, it's something like
arc
that.
blade.
But
Barbaricector?
yeah, it's a name I stole from something. I just thought it was appropriate that there would be names for these things in
Suppose.
In the Drenex.
All right. Well, bullets are still flying out there. Dean's not necessarily a coward or anything, but he's also not going to stick his head up while people are shooting up the bar. So he's going to here, let me get past you there, buddy. He's going to start crawling out that direction.
Okay. Okay. He needs to make a health roll for consciousness. He's at -1 because he's really messed up.
He's fine.
Half move, that's 3. 1, 2, 3. This guy kind of... he will see in his periphery. Let's see. He will simply turn to see the dude light up a lightsaber that's not a lightsaber.
Yeah. So yeah, he's
But-
basically.
You just caught his attention, so he turns and evaluates this turn. This guy.
Yeah, I'd imagine that would attract the attention.
He'll make a perception roll. He's not going to be overly concerned with whatever it is you're doing. He will continue to try and kill Jaro.
Well, luckily he didn't aim last round, so that's going to be a tough shot.
Even tougher when you roll like that.
Welcome to the land of my rolls. Or Mel's rolls and GURPS.
The thug that I shot last time, that was one, right? He's prone? Oh no, it was two.
No. The guy that you
He's
shot
prone.
straight up died.
And the one that I hit the leg.
Which one was that?
I think that was two. Yeah.
That was two because two has prone on him.
He's still conscious. Like, what do I see? Is he got his weapon out still? Is he conscious? You know, he dropped his weapon, probably stunned.
He wasn't stunned. He just fell over, so he still has his weapon.
He's just randomly shooting it in all sorts of directions.
I mean, is he a threat? Does he look? What is he doing?
Well, he's
'Cause now
laying
he's
on.
prone.
He's
So
laying
now he's
on the
probably looking at
ground.
me.
He has his weapon out. He's looking in the direction he's looking. He's facing.
All right, I am aiming at him. That's my turn.
All right. Jaro.
Shot last round, so no aim.
This guy did not aim, so Jaro's going to take a move to there and aim.
Right, now I can do what I was going to do last time, but couldn't. I am going to expend a fatigue point to get a feverish charge. Or not feverish charge, or whatever it's called. Is it
Extra
feverish
effort charge.
Extra, yeah. That's it.
Heroic charge.
Heroic charge, yeah, to get right over here. And then I'm going to cut this dude. Vwomp! Success by 1. I want him to parry it.
He's definitely surprised at this, and he's going to take a retreating dodge.
Sorry, my keyboard fell to the floor. That's why it's did a bunch of things.
It's at +3. Not enough.
Oh,
Do
that's
the
going to
damage.
really suck.
God, that's a lot of dice.
25 points. Armor Divisor 5. I was going for the torso.
All right. So, wow. So it's just burn. There's no cut.
That's
guess it
all
wouldn't
the
be.
Force Sword is.
I don't think you get extra effects on things like burn.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, it depends on the location.
It might set things on fire.
Yeah, I want to see how much damage I did to him.
Probably going to put him in a death roll. Which one was he? 3.
Right. Dean's still crawling and sort of looking back at the park. Does this happen often?
He will.
This ain't my first
Need to
firefight.
make a consciousness roll to do
Oh, this
anything,
is
right?
He's taken a major wound. The guy that you just hit.
Good. He needs to pass out.
He's not stunned, but he's not happy.
Boo.
The guy behind the bar, he'll say, more often than you think. He
Well,
will
that
fall
guy's unconscious.
All right. He's kind of freaked out by the dude with the force sword that's not a lightsaber, or the lightsaber that's not a lightsaber, and he's just going to shoot wildly at Flynn.
I bet he can't reflect those.
Sadly, no, I cannot. I need to get like a cool shield, force shield, in the other hand, to where it's like I can, use that as block.
I think shooting from prone is no penalties.
There are no penalties for shooting from prone, no.
What?
Of course,
Nice!
if you just keep rolling really high, it's not going to matter.
Another
Man.
crit failed. Sweet!
Flynn has got lucky twice now.
The force is with him. Oh, wait, it can't be the force. The momentum or something like that.
It does not malfunction, so they just miss. This guy has to make a health roll. He will remain conscious. He's going to make a tactical retreat. He doesn't have high pain, so it's going to be -5. Missed by that much.
I'm doing the thing that, was it Chirrut? Is that how it was? The blind guy in Rogue One?
Right.
So
I am the force is with me, or something like that.
Exactly.
Now I'm remembering Andor. That was so good.
It was. It's the best thing that Disney Star Wars has done. And interesting, I don't know if you watched Rogue One immediately after it, but it flows really well into it. It's like, well done, guys, well done.
The end montage, that was really awesome too.
Uh-huh. A 4.
You braced again. Oh.
He aimed.
I did
He
aim.
actually aimed this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what did you aim at? Leg.
His left leg.
I will give him a perception roll to see. Actually, no. This guy's already prone.
And I got a critical success. So no defense, right?
Just on the first one.
I only did one shot.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, if you only did one shot, then that one's the only one that hit.
Well, it says you rolled 3, so you need to set up one shot.
Yeah, I normally do, and I had forgotten to do that for mine.
Oh, I changed the rate
Reminds
of
me,
fire.
I should do that.
All right, well, you're going to take off the other leg. So that's going to be...
We're going to call him Stumpy.
To cripple is 6, so it takes 6 points more.
And then 3 is going to get shot in the head by Jarrah. Well, actually, Jarrah might not take the shot since... No, wait, Sully is prone, so he could shoot over him.
He's not stunned. But he's not standing either. All right. He's going to take aim. Though Jaro is somewhat interested in...
Jarrah took aim last round.
Oh, that's right.
Because the dude did not.
That's right. And since this guy
Arc field weapon, that's what they call it.
Jaro almost doesn't want to shoot this guy because he wants to see Flynn.
Well, then he doesn't have to shoot the guy.
He will, in fact, do that. He will just maintain his aim, but he sort of looks over the top of his pistol and goes, "What the hell is that?"
Right. Feverish charge again. That looks like whatever. And this time I'm going to thrust. Success by 4.
Fail by 9.
Oof.
Wow.
So, that's rough damage. That's 35 with armor divisor 5.
Wow. That's going to take him to...
Damn, that's a really good roll. That's 1, 2. Only 2 of them, the die rolls, are under 4.
It's
4
taken him
fives.
from no death rolls to 4 death rolls.
Well,
Since that was rather spectacular, describe how this guy is defeated.
Okay, so Flynn is going to be like, not sprinting, but definitely doing the shifting as he's advancing over there. And then he just brings that weapon up and it just like cooks straight through the guy's heart and his spine. And there's like that horrible meat cooking stench. And he like goes, oh, and then he hits the ground with a meaty thunk.
And there'll be the odor of cooking bacon.
Then he's going to quickly survey these fallen dudes and start going over and retrieve his pistol. Clear. Can
Gonna
stand
have
up
to
now,
invest in
Dean.
some body armor if I keep doing this. Still talking. At this point, it just got quiet enough. He was about to stick his pistol up over the counter and look through the gun cam, and you'll see that. Yeah, it looks like the bad guys are all down.
Gonna go over there, get his pistol, and say, "Apologies for the mess, everyone."
It sucks about the booze, man.
The guy behind the bar, he'll carefully sort of raise his head up, and he'll look at the bodies on the ground.
Bodies for
And
recyc.
he says, "Free drinks to anyone that drags those corpses behind the bin out front."
When I said I wanted to do some shots, this is not what I had in mind.
Oh, that's funny.
Does anyone take him up on the offer of relocating these corpses to the dumpster?
I'm not. I got to retrieve my my Gyrock and then make sure that Sullivan is gonna finish up the agreement with this guy that we only pay him 10 grand.
This is probably not the first time we've been out this way, or at least it's not the first time Dean has been out this way. So, how is security around here? Are they actually pretty active, or are they pretty laissez-faire?
In this part of the undercity, they will respond, but the response is probably
Eventually?
going to be, an hour, maybe
Oh,
half an hour.
5 for recyc. Get him out of here. Yeah. So Dean will drag somebody. He says, "Yeah, I guess they're not really gonna come and clean up the crime scene or anything, are they?"
Make sure to
No.
secure those weapons.
I'll say to the bartender, yeah, I'll give you a hand here. Let me just finish up our business, and I'll help you clear this place out.
Hey, looks like this guy, you missed the armor jacket. I think I'll just take this one.
That's true. You did shoot a couple guys in the legs, and it's like, oh, yep. Hey, what was
It's
the
got a little
boss
blood
wearing?
on it. I think that'll
What was the
wash off
boss
though.
wearing? Because I shot him in the legs and in the hand, so his jacket should be fine.
They're all wearing the same, so
Is it a Monocris
just
jacket?
Monocris jacket, yeah.
Yeah, I will snag one.
Yeah,
Maybe
Jared,
temporarily.
I'll have to go. Friends of yours? Is there something we need to know about? Any particular hostilities amongst the pirates?
He will say, he'll say, Black Veil Syndicate. We're not all friendly out here in the Black
What?
Black Veil Syndicate.
Veil.
What did it sound like to you? Black Veil.
Veil. VALE.
Oh,
I know it doesn't sound much difference, but there is just enough of a difference. I'm like, okay.
It's all you
So
American speakers.
Who does he represent? Jarrow. Was that told to us?
I think he was saying he was like More like a fixer or something?
Yes, he's a fixer.
Yeah, but we were paying him to minimize pirate activity. But if there's conflict between the pirates, then we need to know which ones to avoid, right?
Well, maybe not. Well, you want to avoid all pirates, regardless of whether you paid them off or not.
For now, I do. And a little bit later, I want to recruit all the pirates.
All right, so before we wrap that up, the barkeep and Dean, you will drag these bodies out to the big dumpster that's out the front, around the side a little bit. He will thank you, and he will say, "Drinks of what's left is on me. Thanks for your help." When he comes back in, he will press a button behind the counter, and the door beside the bar will sort of open, and
Little mouse droids.
What do they call them?
Cleaner droids, right?
Yeah, cleaner droid. But there's, what are they called? Robo Vac?
Roomba.
Roomba. Hang on a sec. I've got a cat doing weird stuff.
Don't they always?
Yeah, it's a cat. You can't trust them. They're going to try to kill you.
Back in a sec.
Sanitation droid.
Maybe Australian cats don't actually want to kill you.
It's Australia. It still wants to kill you. And it's a cat. In the 15th anniversary Discord, I totally posted the sanitation droid from what the heck is this stupid thing called again? The Central Supply Catalog for Youngest Traveler.
All right, back.
Yeah, so Brian, in the 15th anniversary active, I posted the sanitation droid from the Traveler Central Supply Catalog. It kind of looks like an instrument of torture less than a Roomba.
Wow. Yeah, it looks dangerous.
It does.
So it will come out and begin to clean. You will then continue your negotiation with Jaro. He will say, I'm gonna have to wrap this up quick. This cat's not behaving right. It's got an infected mouth and keeps trying to attack his mouth.
I forgot you mentioned something wrong with your cat last night.
Yeah, he's got an infected lip, so he keeps trying to scratch his lip. And,
it's got a freaking predator, an alien, a xenomorph trying to get out.
So he will say, upon entering system, if you are encountered by any vessels, simply announce over secure comms or tight beam comms to that vessel the code word donkey balls.
Oh man, I thought we were going to say we have friends everywhere.
Oh, okay. I like that one better.
We have donkey balls everywhere.
So you hear it as we have friends everywhere. But yeah, he said donkey balls. But the universal translator will translate it to "we are friends everywhere." And if they are friendly, they will leave you alone.
So
How
nice.
long does this code last?
It will last the duration of your trip.
So probably to Yggdrasil, and then we need to renegotiate with someone else on Yggdrasil for the way back.
For the new code word.
That was a good call, FX. I had forgotten. Yeah, we should probably find out how long this is good.
Right. They
He
probably reset
will,
the password every couple weeks or whatever.
He will say, "I promised if you got me out of this alive, we would settle for 10K, and I'm good to my word." He will take the 10K, I assume. You hand it over.
Yep, and I think we would like to ideally take as many of the weapons as we possibly could from these dudes. Although, if he wants a couple of them and the bartender wants a couple of them, we should go ahead. It's always good for us to have more firepower.
The bartender, or Jaro, says, "Ari, do you mind if we take the back exit?" And Ari, or the bartender, will reply, "Sure." And you guys will depart this place.
Quick question. How is coinage done in this? Is it still because it's like credits, right?
It is still credits.
Because I'd totally like to be able to, as we're leaving, flip the bartender thing like Han Solo, and it's like, "Sorry for the mess."
Sure.
But I have no idea how much would be appropriate, so...
I assume that you're going to pay that out of the...
No, I'm going to pay it out of my own.
The cost of living is like 1,200 standard credits. So maybe
so it's like
600.
I'll just toss him 100, and it's just like, that'll cover the electricity for the droids to clean up.
Right.
Yeah.
Apologies for the mess, bartender.
He'll give you a nod, and he'll take your credit or credits.
As soon as we're out, he goes, "That was a freaking lightsaber, wasn't it?" And everybody's like, "Yeah, that was totally a lightsaber."
He will step over to the side door, hit the button, the door will open. He'll stand there and wait for you guys to head out the back. After you all depart, including Jaro, he will close the door behind you to the sound of a cleaner droid going swoosh, 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 with blood and slops of dead peoples. Once you're outside, Jaro will sort of part ways, and he'll sort of give you a half-assed salute, sort of tip of the hat more than a salute, and he will disappear into the crowd.
And now we need to go back to the ship and go, "Look, we only spent 10,000. We're amazing."
Right?
Well, that's the expected amount.
Yeah, but he was expecting us to probably screw it up.
So you will go back to the ship, and you can probably tell that he's maybe a little bit disappointed that you actually got to pay 10 grand, because he would have liked to go to the captain and say, "Oh, they fucked up and cost us heaps more."
We're definitely going to mention him also about the fact that there are some pirates that are not on board with this fellow, because we had to kill a handful of them at the bar.
And I'm going to really, not embellish, but I'm going to really lay it on thick. Like, hey, This was actually 25,000. We got it down to 10. Blah 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 blah.
Because we
And-
saved that dude.
And Dean is gonna, he's got the honesty perk, so he's gonna.
Well,
or,
he's got honesty, but not truthfulness. You're not.
Okay.
Right.
Anyways, they're gonna believe you.
He
And
can
then also
totally,
Flynn is the XO.
he can totally jump onto the lie too and go, yeah, there were like 10 of them, and half of them ran away after we started killing them.
So the XO will say, the captain doesn't need to know about this, all right?
Understood?
Well, I think that there's a bonus here somewhere in all of this. We saved the ship $15,000 credits.
I guess that's true.
Congratulations on doing your job.
Asshole.
That'll go on your OER next month.
Well, we'll see how the captain feels about that when I'm doing the accounting as I normally do, and I'm usually able to save him about 10% on his bill due to on his taxes. So make sure he knows that.
Wow, so they use bills.
Yeah, evidently.
That's dumb. I hate that.
Well, it kind of makes sense in a...
I want cool coins like they have in Star Wars, darn it.
Well, it kind of makes sense that they have hard currency, given that communications happen at
Yeah.
export rate.
Well, shiny. We accomplished the mission, and ideally we did bring back a couple more weapons to put into the weapons locker in case we do get boarded by pirates. Sounds like Dean got a nifty new jacket that he just needs to throw in the washer.
Do you want me to put that stuff in the party sheet, or will we just put that as surplus stuff? I'll put it on the party sheet if you're going to add it to your characters. Put it that
I'm
way.
probably not planning on doing so, but I'm wondering how.
Well-
I guess it might be a good idea to create a parcel that you don't necessarily add to the party sheet unless we say so. But it's just like this is what we have on the ship that could be available in case we do
Right.
get boarded down the road.
Our locker.
Ship's locker
situation.
thing, a ship's locker parcel.
No, I already pulled Moniker's jacket out of the items, so we don't need to bother with that.
Yeah, ultimately, I was just thinking, down the road, in case it gets bad, and people need to draw additional, not necessarily PCs, but NPCs need to draw additional weapons. We've got more weapons, so this is totally, once again, Flynn not having sense of duty to the crew, but acting in such a way that people are going to think he does.
Cool. Well, that will actually put us at time. I expected it to go a little bit faster, so...
That's how it goes.
Yeah, well, we got started really late, too.
Cool. So, we'll wrap it up there, so everyone gets 2 points.
Shiny.
Unless you have any particular questions or stuff that you want to sort out right now before we sign off.
I do not. I got to use both of my weapons in the fight, so I'm feeling good.
All right. Well, if you are watching this and you have questions, corrections, suggestions, or general hecklings, feel free to leave a comment here or find us on Discord. Please consider liking and subscribing to our YouTube and Twitch channels. Thank you for watching. Olympus out.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys.